You know, round 2 was a lot different. It was just short, sharp racing, and if you weren't on the ball from race 1, it was sort of one of those things where you can come unstuck really quickly.
He's not giving Shannon an inch.
That's actually my first Eliminate. I've never actually won that format, so to come out with that as well, it's definitely gives me confidence for the next rounds to come.
That is a piece of mastercraft.
I've actually been in this position before 2 years ago, and I won the first 2 rounds, and my third round I actually came second last.
Oh.
Wow.
I think my next race, I'm just going to go out and treat it like it's the first round of the series. I've really got to stay like that. I've got to keep really grounded, and yeah, I think that usually works for me.
Courtney Hancock, wow.
You got to make the most of it because it doesn't come all that often, and yeah, I'm really enjoying my racing, so I'm just sort of taking each race as it comes.
Hello and welcome to Newcastle Beach in New South Wales, the traditional Ironman amphitheatre. Today marks the halfway point of the season. Some of these gladiators will live to fight another day in the title race, but some will be thrown to the lions. Standing with me, legendary Ironman Reece Jury. Mate, we're at the halfway point of the season here, round 3. What's going to happen?
Well, look, it's such an important round for so many reasons. The leaders have an opportunity now to jump ahead, or the younger guys, or the guys that are sitting just behind, they have an opportunity to put themselves back into the game. So it's a huge and important round. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens today.
Mate, Newcastle, you're a veteran of here. You've done it like 10 times, maybe more. What's it like here?
It's great. It's a great place. The town Newcastle loves Ironman racing, so they all come down. They really get behind the Ironman and Ironwomen. So it's an exciting place. It normally puts on a bit of a surf and a few thrills and spills here. So it's going to be great.
Reece, the big 3 names we're looking at here: Kendrick, Shannon, and Kai. Those 3 up the top.
Yeah, look, round 1 and 2. Those 3 were a standout. They looked like a level above. They were absolutely superb and some of the best racing I've seen for a long, long time. They were red hot, they were fit, they were strong, and their surf skills were amazing in those first 2 rounds. So it's going to be interesting to see how they come out today, but definitely they're going to be up there, and they're the guys that the other competitors are going to have to catch.
Let's take a look at the other competitors. These are the standings. Also, we've got Matt Poole down there as well in the mix.
Yeah, Matty Poole, he did really well. He'd be happy sitting in 4th. He didn't look real comfortable in rounds 1 and 2, but he got through it and he had some good results. So he'll be a definite threat today for sure.
Who else have we got?
Well, I think Kane Eckstein. I think he's had the first 2 rounds to get himself back into the series, back to used to competing against the Ironman. I think he'll be a definite threat today. This format suits him. He surf's backed out a little bit, and I think he'll be red hot today, and he'll be hard to stop.
Joining us now on the beach is Matt Poole. Mate, coming into round 3, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. As usual, Newcastle's dished up some pretty tricky conditions. We're going to see the rips taking out right on the northern side here near the rock shelf, and I think the girls and the guys will be using that to their advantage today. And a little bit of a wave, but with this wind, it seems to be playing a little bit of chaos. So I think it's going to be all over the shop. We're going to see people getting waves and runners from behind. So it really is not going to be over till it's over, and I'll be fighting right till the end.
Matty, the fractured leg in the off-season, how's it going, mate? Is it full recovery? Are you running properly? How's it holding up?
Yeah, look, it was mentally and physically, it was certainly a pretty tough off-season. Physically, I guess I just tried to work on my weaknesses and use what I could. So I was doing a lot of upper body gym stuff and working on my ski paddling because that's about all I could do. Swimming and board paddling really had to take a bit of a back seat, and definitely the running. So look, I'm not down about it. I'm pretty happy. I'm actually happy just to be back here and racing. I mean, 10 weeks ago, if you had have asked me if I was racing, I would have said I was no chance. So I'm here. I'm putting my foot on the start line with everyone else, and I'm not going to give them an inch.
The top 3 guys, Shannon, Kendrick, Kai, they were pretty good in round 1 and 2. How are you going to combat that today? Round 3 is extremely important. What are you going to do today?
I think the series is going to be wrapped up in these next couple of rounds, so we need to start trying to clutch back a couple of points between myself, Kane, and some of the other guys. We can't give them an inch. We really have to get on that podium, and we need to try and get on that number 1 podium.
Pulley, you've won here before. Is there a bit of pressure, you reckon, coming back here again?
Look, yeah, last year was fantastic. A very memorable win. I was so super stoked with that. The Eliminator format, it was tricky conditions, and I got away from behind and sprinted up the beach. So I guess that's what Newcastle's all about, you know. It's all about the battle and the good hustle. So keep on fighting and we'll see how we go.
Well, good luck today, Pulley. Right now, we're going to go straight into the women's standings. Reece, the women's standings, obviously Courtney Hancock, the one to beat. Isn't she just amazing?
She definitely was. That first 2 rounds, I was waiting for someone to challenge her, but no one could get close to her. Her swimming was exceptional. Her skills were exceptional. She's a total professional. She was awesome those first 2 rounds. So again, she'll be the one to catch, and the girls will really have to put some pressure on her today.
Mate, you've said before that her swimming is undeniably one of the things that gets her out there in front. She been working on that a lot?
Well, from what I've heard, yeah, she's taken it to another level this year, and she's been doing a lot of hours in the pool. So that, and with her overall fitness, I think that's come up as well. So she's been doing a lot of extra running, some more training and everything really, but really focusing on that swimming aspect.
Perfect. There's a lot of other girls back down there as well. Who do you think is going to try and snap her at the heels?
I think Elizabeth Plume is the one that really has to step up today. She's got a lot of talent, Elizabeth. She's got the experience. She's won races before. She's won series before. It's really up to Liz to come out there and try and tighten some screws and try and wheel Courtney back in.
We're going to have a fight on our hands, aren't we? Let's turn to Ros Kelly on the beach.
Well, I'm going to be honest, it is not very pretty down here on the beach today. It is about 22 degrees and incredibly windy. The surf, it is also very, very messy, and competitors are going to have to deal with quite a strong current and a very heavy shore break. Now, Maddie Dunn, she had a very, very strong beginning to the Ironman and Women's Series. Maddie, who do these conditions favour today?
Oh, probably people like Crystal and Courtney and Liz, people that have been in the sport forever and raced here a lot, so it'll probably suit them better than the younger girls that haven't really raced here a lot and new to the sport.
Now, you chose to move clubs to train with the defending champion Courtney Hancock, and it looks like it's paying off results-wise for you. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it paid off in the first and second round. Hopefully it pays off now, but it will be a bit difficult out there, so I'll see how it'll go.
Okay, I'll let you go continue warming up. Thanks, Maddie.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ros. Ironwoman race coming up next, but first, let's check out what the athletes have to say about the fans here in Newcastle.
I really enjoy the sort of the amphitheatre beaches that we have. Newcastle's one of them. You know, it's like a stadium, so it builds up, and when you're coming in on a wave, you can see a sea of people, and it really pumps you up.
Yeah, I love having the fans at Newcastle Beach. It definitely gives it that vibe, and it makes you want to perform for them. So it's great having the amphitheatre style.
I love a big crowd, and I love people, you know, especially all the young kids getting into it.
There's always a good crowd cheering on, and we're right up in close with the crowd. You can run around the transition, and you know, you saw some of the boys last year were high-fiving the crowd like through their transition.
There might be, you know, 1,000 or 2,000 people on the beach, but you can always hear my wife or my mum. You hear these unique voices cheering you on.
Being out there in that #1 position, everyone knows your points, and they're trying to, I guess, pull you in as much as they can. You know, you get a few girls who are quite determined, I guess, to hunt you down. Round 2, didn't expect that. To come out and win that, and that's actually my first eliminate. I've never actually won that format. Definitely gives me confidence for the next rounds to come. My swimming's definitely always been really strong, but I also feel like my other craft legs have picked up as well, so I think that always helps to not have a weakness. I still think Elizabeth Plumer's. She's very good at the series. She seems to recover really well and always finishes off with a bang. Crystal Smith isn't too far behind me as well, but yeah, I'd still say Elizabeth Plumer's would definitely be the one to watch for sure. With the way the point score is, it's not over right till the end. You know, I've had 2 perfect races, can't ask for any better than that, but I think when you've had a good start like this, it gives you that confidence and you get on a little bit of a roll. I've got to keep really grounded, and yeah, I think that usually works for me.
Welcome back to Newcastle Beach in New South Wales. Reece, who's going to push you to her limits today?
Well, there's a few girls that can. I spoke about Elizabeth Plumer's earlier. I think she'll be the one that really pushed Courtney. But there's people like Maddie Dunn, who was outstanding in the first 2 rounds and can match Courtney to a certain point. So I think Maddie Dunn could step up. They have to have a crack today.
I can't wait to see it. Let's go straight to the pro zone with Elizabeth Plumer's.
All right, Right, here we are down at Newcastle Beach for round 3 of the Kellogg's Nutri-Grain Ironwoman series. As you can see, the conditions are a little different to rounds 1 and 2 over in Western Australia. I've got a bit of a big shorey here, so it could be testing times getting in and out. So we have the loop format here today. For the Ironwoman, it's 3 loops out around board, ski, swim, so it should be testing conditions out there in the shorey and then out around the back, just lengthen it out and keep it strong.
Thanks, Elizabeth. The race will get underway shortly. He's none from 2 in the tipping world at the moment in the women's season. Mate, who have you got your tips on now?
Yeah, well, you're exactly right, mate. I've tipped Elizabeth Plumers the last 2 times. I can't go against Courtney. I've got to say Courtney Hancock. She's going to win today. The other girls will push her, and I think they're a chance, but I'm going to tip Courtney.
Well, we'll see how we go, huh? Hopefully you get one on the board this time. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, and there is Harriet. That is, of course, Harriet Brown, just young from Northcliffe, and we're just about to see in number 2, Brodie Moyer, Trevor Handy, looking for a lot better performance here.
Yes, really underperformed as we see Courtney Hancock, the star of the moment, running towards the camera. Here's our course today, starting off with the board leg, coming around. It's actually going to be 3 loops of this, so board, then swim, back around, and then out for the ski. As we go at the ski, if you look on the left, that blue water, that's the famous Newcastle Rip next to the channel. 3 laps and we finish.
500 metres on the board. There's Brodie, a little bit of performance, a little bit of theatre on the start line.
Asking Andrew Book, the race director, a couple of questions there.
And we're just about to get underway. It's choppy, it's windy in Newcastle, good crowd about, so all our competitors love that. We are underway with the board.
And make no mistake, Tim, even though it's small here today, this is a challenging environment beach to race. And look at this straight away. Bang, knocked backwards. A big thing here, that often there's a lot of swell at this beach, but even when there isn't, the waves don't get to iron out the chops, so the wind really plays a major part. Look at all that water moving around.
So there you go. We have the board, swim, ski, as we mentioned, 3 laps, and so many that didn't perform, of course, at Smith's Beach will want to pop their head up. We've seen a number of young competitors be in the middle or at the front at certain times, and then we've seen these superstars take their place, like Courtney and Liz. Tight around this first can, Reece.
Yes, most definitely, and we're on board here with Devon Halligan. Look how close those girls are. That's extremely tight, and you often cop a hand or even a foot in the face sometimes. It's fierce out there around those cans.
It's funny looking at that shot of Courtney because she's actually leading, but all the cramping around her legs and the bottom half of her body, people are knocking into her. There's Hannah Minogue, a little bit of a kick in the face almost there. It's really challenging.
There'd have to be a few bleeding noses and a few broken noses over the course of time from the stray boot. As we look at this, there's Liz Plumers. We have got Brodie Moyer and Harriet Brown out in front at the moment.
More so the kicks and knocks in the swim leg, but the board, it does happen around those cans. Have a look at this great shot here on board with Liz Plumers. Look at that reaching forward, and you can see that momentum, that bouncing allows her to get the board moving, and she's going to link this together into the shore break. What a great start for her.
And we're on board with Maddie Dunn now, and she's flipped off her board. That's a huge mistake from the young girl. That could play a huge part in her race today.
Maddie 3rd overall, so that's a big upset there as we see Liz come off the beach, up the beach first.
And we couldn't see where she was on that, but I imagine she'll grab the board and get back in, but she's going to be near the tail end of the field, so she'll be kicking herself right now.
Well, there we look at current placings. Liz Plumers in first, Harriet Brown in second, Courtney Hancock, who won both times at Smith's Beach, Jordan Mercer, Brodie Moyer in 5th up there, Crystal Smith, of course, Amy Nerthen.
And also Emma Dick running around there, Tim. A fantastic job in that first round over in Western Australia. The youngest competitor in the field. Incredible over there when they didn't have the ski leg. Gets a little bit more testing for her when there's a ski leg, but look for her to be a star in the next few years.
And there's Maddie Dunn. She's come out in 16th place, so that mishap on the board has really cost her, and she's got a lot of work now to do in this swim to try and get herself back into this race.
We established in the first couple of races that Courtney Hancock is the superstar, got the model looks. Not the best of friends with Liz Plumers and Crystal Smith. They'd be nice and fired up. When I say not the best of friends, I'm talking in competitive terms, but they'd be nice and fired up for this, to try and get back.
Absolutely. I think they both really, we'll probably overdo it a little bit about the friends thing.
That's okay. This is theatre. This is sport.
I think they both just really want to be number one. I think Liz Plumer sees herself as the best Ironwoman. She wants to win this series and certainly this race right here and now. And I know Courtney Hancock, she's dreamt of these moments. Look at this wave sweeping through at the back. Reese can tell you more about that bank out the back there, but that's going to come into play, Reese, as the swim legs go through today.
Yeah, 100%, Trevor. Once that tide drops out too, we're going to see those waves, as we're seeing here, start to break out the back. And Brodie Moyer was on that wave, and she's just dropped off. And Harriet Brown has surfed that wave beautifully. And Harriet Brown is now leading this race. She's overtaken Elizabeth Plumas. That was awesome.
Oh, outstanding from Harriet. Got the big look of determination. We saw her on the start line. Plenty more to come. This is the women in Newcastle, the Nutri-Grain Ironwoman Series. Nutri-Grain Ironman / Ironwoman Series. Beautiful conditions here in Newcastle. The sweet Novocastrian grins. It is a lovely, lovely part of the world. And there's Harriet Brown, the tallest competitor in the field. Now, Trevor Hendy, you should know about this because you certainly had height on your side.
Yeah, over 6 foot on the old scale, Harriet, but she's running into the water. The great thing about height sometimes is the advantage it gives you when you're wading back into the water, porpoising under waves, also the leverage and board paddling, stuff like that. Not specifically any more helpful on a ski when you're about to jump into a shore break like this. Interesting point here, Tim. This is a really howling little wind in a tricky, tricky shore break. 17'6" long skis in the old scale, and then really, really makes it challenging. And there you can see that's Brodie Moyer, who's doing great to be back up there again now, sideways, and banging her foot pedals there, Reese. She's got a problem with her rudder.
It looks like her rudder's jammed. Courtney Hancock is struggling as well. Now we're on board with Brodie Moyer here. She's got the legs over, it's been whacked, caught on the side.
As we watch this melodrama happen, look, at Smiths Beach day one, we didn't have the skis because it's a difficult discipline for the women on occasions.
Oh.
This isn't as big, but look at that, this is choppy.
And this is tiny little shore break. They're just sort of peaking up and really landing from deep water into shallow. See that water, that sand getting sucked out. Here we go again. Rebecca Creedy here, jumping on as well and getting smashed sideways.
Oh.
There we go. This is the make or break. This could make your whole series right here in this moment.
Is Alyssa Ball, and there's Creedy's ski straight back onto her chest, and that's really dangerous.
Oh, absolute smash up.
And this is Brodie still sitting here. She's still trying to go.
Her rudder's jammed, Trevor. It's definitely jammed. And that's, Bonnie Hancock's been thumped down onto the shore break as well.
And we saw on the right side of the screen at the bottom there, that was Brodie still standing there. And Harriet Brown, meanwhile, is out the back.
Oh, this is a really developing story for Brodie Moyer. Had such an awful time in Western Australia. She's almost in tears. Your heart goes out to her. This is difficult stuff.
She was right up there. She's watching these people paddle away. You've ever had one of those dreams where you're stuck and running on the one spot and something's chasing you and you can't get away from it or you can't move? It's like that right now. She's not going anywhere. She's just watching this nightmare unfold in front of her.
Was that Tannen Linden that came and helped?
Definitely Tannen Linden there. What a great guy. He's come in, he's trying to unjam Brodie's rudder here, and she's devastated.
Tough conditions. Let's get an update with Roz on the beach.
Well, Zane, you're one of Australia's most experienced watermen. Can you explain the challenges the athletes are facing out here that we can't see with the naked eye?
Yeah, look, even though the conditions are small, we don't have the swell, it is actually really, really tricky. This wind is coming from the side, so the athletes have got to contend with that. It blows your paddle around, tries to knock you off. But also in close here, there's submerged rocks which the athletes have to be aware of and try to avoid as well. So there's so many variables they're dealing with.
There's a fantastic atmosphere. Where do you rate Newcastle for a competition venue?
It's one of the best venues, that I've raced at, and every time we come here, we get fantastic crowds and great atmosphere, and so yeah, it's fantastic. We love coming here.
Great, thanks, Zane.
Thank you.
Thanks, Zane. Thanks, Ross. And Liz Plumer's, a name that we all know and love, is doing it out in front.
Bit tight on that turn there too. Watch this, she's little smile. Always got a good smile on her face, Liz. She races quite happy and alive.
There it is, Liz Plumers, her good friend Crystal Smith, and where's Courtney? Now, Courtney's out the back there. She's got a fair bit of catching up to do.
That's after getting flogged in the shore break. And look at these two girls here, Liz, and on this side, Crystal. Reese is actually, they've chosen two different ways back to the beach.
Yeah, it's interesting, and a lot depend on those runners this afternoon, which way they take you. And you can see that they're getting a great rest on the way back in, sitting on those runners, which sometimes turn into waves. But Harriet Brown, she's still doing really well and still very much in this race.
As Liz Plumers always has the smile on, doesn't she, Liz? It's great to see.
She does. It keeps it alive, that's for sure. Here's Courtney. Now, that's the recovery. She's done quite well there because she got held in that shore break for quite a while. We didn't get to see it, but I bet she made up a few places in that ski leg. She's a dynamic ski paddler these days. Look at this wave at the back for Liz Plumers, and that's the sandbank we were talking about a little bit earlier. There is a major rip that runs out on that left side, Reese, and you know, you've raced in it many times. If you don't run out to that left, you get left behind.
Here's Brodie Moyer, and you can tell the emotion. She brings a hand to her face. How difficult is it when you know you're out of it?
Yeah, it's really hard to try and keep your composure. It's very difficult, but Brodie has to do that. She has to try and get it together. The race isn't over. It's a longer race today. It's 3 loops. She needs to get her head back on and try and get herself back into this race.
And you alluded to it before, Tim. There's a bit of a backstory here that she did have those two. Round 1 and round 2 wasn't great at all for her. So she now knows there goes her series. So she's back there. The devastation is real and in this moment for her, but she does have to let it go and get on with it.
There is Rebecca Creedy, the oldest competitor in the field at 30. So they're a pretty young bunch, and she just came off.
And the GoPros, don't they highlight the looks on the face too? They wouldn't be so happy with some of their looks when they come up and they're looking a bit sour after rolling off.
And there's a shot on board, Cam. That is Jordan Mercer, and it makes us all feel a little old, doesn't it, when we look at Jordan Mercer, wonderful young competitor who's right up there at the moment as we see Liz Plumers with the smile come up the beach, and Jordan's just with her there. So this is a great performance from both Liz Plumers and Jordan Mercer as we see Crystal Smith come off. And Jordan, well, in 25 years of covering sport, I don't think I've met two better blokes than her dad Darren and her uncle Dean. And here's Jordan Mercer competing well.
For me, this sport has been a part of my life for my whole life until now. I love it, sometimes I hate it, but every waking hour at the moment, these past couple of years, this has been what I think about, what I put, I guess, every ounce of my being into being the best I possibly can be for this sport. I train to win, and you know, I race. I'm learning every time I'm in the ocean. There's always mistakes that I'm making, and each and every time I'm learning, but I'm on that start line to win, and second for me just really never is good enough. At the end of the day, you know, that's the true satisfaction, to know that all of your hard work, all of the training, the preparation, dedication, blood, sweat and tears has paid off, and you've conquered the best athletes in the world, all the females there on the start line, the ocean, and it's sort of just, I guess, the pinnacle for what we train for, to be the best, top of the podium.
Might have a future in television as well. Jordan Mercer spoke beautifully there with her dad there giving her the tactics on the sideline.
Oh, look, she's already at top of the podium as a young lady. She's an incredible young lady and a beautiful family that Reese and I had the honour of racing Darren and Dean for many years and pretty much grew up with them. Hey, buddy?
Yeah, well, I'm an old Thrill boy, same town as Dean and Darren, but here we go, back to the race. There's a few body waves coming through, and speaking of the devil, here's Jordan Mercer trying to get onto one of these waves here.
That's one part of her game you guys were mentioning earlier that she probably needs to work on, the swimming.
Yeah, definitely. Look, she's a great athlete, Jordan. She's a great runner, ski paddler, board paddler, but I just think that swim leg, she will have to work onto it, especially with Courtney and Elizabeth Plumers swimming so well.
Okay, let's have a look at the current placings. And Liz Plumers, Harriet Brown staying there, Crystal Smith and Courtney Hancock in 4th. So there's our top 4 with Amy Nervin rounding out the top 5.
And Geordie's dropped away there. There she is back in 7th behind Tara Coleman. So one of the challenges coming in the swim leg when there's not a lot of swell is it's only little wind chops that you're picking up. So even if you catch one, you don't ride it very far, then you're running back around, get your heart rate back down to about 170 and hit the shore break here on the ski. And we saw what happened in the ski leg before. Let's see how the girls handle it this time.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge, and it's already started that way. Jordan Mercer, talk about Murphy's Law.
As soon as we mention it, bang, away she goes. Liz Plumas out safely. There we have
Amy Nerthen, and she's the quiet achiever. You know, she's been racing really well so far this season, and she just goes about her business. She's quietly spoken, but she's very determined this year, Amy.
On a choppy old day, Courtney Hancock's got a bit of catching up to do. Crystal Smith and, of course, Liz Plumas out in front.
And having a look at that chop, there's Emma Dick, and she's rolled off. We're going to see a lot of this, because what you've got is a swell coming from one direction and the wind chop coming the other. It's like riding a wild bronco as Geordie Mercer flies past there. You can see the hips moving around trying to keep the balance. There's Devon Halligan. Look at that, trying to stay upright on, and off she goes.
It's hard enough to sit on one of these things in still water. I know you two guys could do it well, but I'd hate to see myself try and jump on one in still water.
Yeah, it is. It's extremely hard, and the girls are doing quite well out there. I like how they're getting back on quickly. That's the one thing. If you come off, you've got to get back on quickly. As we're back with the girls, and here's Liz Plumas on her way back in.
They might not like me saying this, but if you really want to find out about these skis, go down to your local surf club and ask to paddle one. They're ridiculously tippy. So all of a sudden, going out, you've got all the chops in the front, coming back in. Look at these waves out the back, moving sideways. Oh, whoa. 3 different directions.
Amy Nerthen had lost it.
On the top of the wave, just popped off. Oh, Alyssa Bull has flipped off there.
There we go. So right now, the rudder's coming up out the back. She gets hit sideways, rolled off. There we see it again from another angle, and
Tara Coleman throws the leg over to try and back out. And Alyssa Bull, and there's that rudder you're talking about, Trevor. It's popped out the back. She's having a tough day at the office today, poor old Alyssa. Whoa.
These two bang into each other. Crystal Smith and Geordie Mercer have a friendly little tap.
All behind Liz Plumas. She's had a year off and been working hard to get back.
The alarm goes off at about 5 o'clock every morning, and the very first morning I was pumped, I was ready to go. I wanted to get back out and back into training and try it all over again. The body was a little bit stiff and a little bit sore, but it was good to get back into the pool. I did a big 10-week block when I got back, and that was leading into the Aussies, and the Aussies was the goal to get back out there, but it was more small steps, taking those little steps to find the big fitness at the end. I did a few races and tried to get the fitness back racing-wise as well, but last year was sort of a little bit of a write-off, and it was really focusing on this year and the Coolangatta Gold to start with and now into the series.
Newcastle's very unpredictable, and I think it's easy to look at that beach. It has its own cove and just think that it's fairly simple, but there's a lot to it. And I've definitely come unstuck plenty of times.
Yeah, Jordan Mercer just telling us what it's like in Newcastle. 3 times we're going around, both the board, swim and the ski, and Liz Plumas out in front from Courtney Hancock. Crystal Smith and all the South Sydney fans will be loving seeing Tara Coleman there in 4th. Her dad, Craig, one of the greatest Rabbitohs of all time.
And Harriet Brown, who we saw up there earlier, now dropped back down to 7th as we see Geordie Mercer run around.
Whoa. Maddie Dunn, huge mistake there. That's
2 mistakes, isn't it, Reese?
Yeah, she talked about experience earlier today as we're on board with Emma Dick. She's thrown the leg over, she's done the right thing, but she's flipped off and lost the ski, and that's a huge mistake in this type of racing.
And that's the risk you run when you throw the leg over the side, Tim. If you put it over the side and the ski rolls away, you've got nothing to grab onto. Sometimes it's better to keep those feet in the foot pedals so that you've got the strap to grab onto if you do fall off. But that's what happens. You don't want to lose that ski because she's now swimming.
Yeah, this is one sport you can get away with saying throw the leg over. As we look at the leaders now, Liz Plumas out in front.
Good shot of Brodie Moyer come through. She's actually caught up quite a bit of distance there. So she's right back, I'd say, not back in last now, but she's definitely tracked back some time. As Liz Plumas, how well has she done this today, Reece? She's been picking up these runs and tracking them through. A great little wave for her. She'll be stoked with this.
These conditions have really shaken up the competition. There were women that struggled in the opening 2 rounds that are really thriving here today. Now, they say you can't actually win the Ironman series here at the halfway mark, but you can certainly lose it. And the powerhouse in defending champion Courtney Hancock, she's really had to fight hard to stay in touch today. The crowd support is absolutely fantastic. They are cheering every girl on as she runs up the beach.
Yeah, well, beautiful timing, Ros, as we see Liz Plumas take off over your right shoulder, and really good today.
This is a superstar effort. You can't even see from the look on her face that we're nearing the end of the race. There's only 2 legs to go. Heart rate's been up around 170, 180 for a long time now. And all this extra energy, Reece, that's used to actually handle these chops, you can't even see it on her face.
Yeah, she's looking very comfortable out there today. And they find that rhythm in these type of races. She's turning the can, she's getting the runners, turning them into waves. Whereas Courtney, she's had to battle really hard today. She struggled with the shorey, she's fighting the whole time. But Liz Plumas out the front, it's going really well for her today.
Yeah, and there it is. We've got Plumas, Hancock, Crystal Smith, Tara Coleman still in 4th. Oh, and there we see 5th and 6th, Harriet Brown and Jordan Mercer, a bit of bump.
Really is the tight end of the race now. You know, one of the ones that I'm most impressed with today is also Courtney Hancock, because she has struggled the whole day. As we see, Brodie Moyer wave on the back of the head. What a day she sets, and she comes out the front of it. That's a bright moment in a dark day.
Yeah, that's some great surfing, and that's showing the skills that she's got. Hopefully, starts to see a good result. Whoa.
Oh, Liz Plumas, hang on.
So Liz has misjudged the swim can here. She's got swept onto it by the wave, and she's got tangled on that. There's some little buckles underneath that can there. That is not a pleasant feeling to get stuck under there, particularly not when you're needing a breath.
And once again, Trevor, we can see these waves starting to break out the back more frequently. That's as the tide goes out, they're going to break on this outside sandbank. And we can see here, as they're swimming across, they're actually waves breaking over them.
Yeah, Liz Plumas out in front. That she may have a few scrapes after that. They're quite big. They didn't use them at Smith's Beach day 1, did they? Because the surf was so big as she cruises into the shoreline.
And it's just a mistake-free race almost today, except for that little thing. Courtney Hancock, great bit of body surfing, picks it up, head down, milks those tiny little waves that are not going too far. Liz Plumas, just hats off to her today, doing a great race. 1 leg to go, just the ski, which we've seen a lot of chaos so far as Courtney chases her up the beach.
Yeah, Liz Plumas in the number 1, of course, position. Courtney Hancock, Smith, Coleman, Bull now. Bull's come into 5th, Harriet Brown and Jordan Mercer.
There's Tara Coleman running up, has had a great race there today. And Liz Plumas sitting there in a comfortable position on board now. Courtney Hancock just getting through the shorey, bang, gets over it nice and clean. That's no easy feat either.
No, definitely not, and she's got a lot of catching up to do. Liz Plumas has got a great lead out here. She's looked strong all day. But Courtney, she's fighting the whole day. She's really trying to wheel that back in.
As we see the chasing pack, what a brilliant performance this has been by Liz Plumas. She took a year off. We saw that in the little piece we played before. Has 1 Coolangatta gold, and here she is. Something ridiculous would have to happen for her not to win this. How tough would it have been to have the year off as we see her come down the wave?
It's just this moment right now. It has been that almost mistake-free race where she is coming down the wave and she's realising, you know what, I've won this race, I've won this race. I think she's got her mind fairly set on the overall series. So I'm not sure that she's going to scream her head off as she wins, but look at that look of concentration.
She's extremely happy, and, you know, I've been tipping her the first couple of races. I expected her to get a win, and I knew it would be soon, and she's done extremely well.
Oh, Elizabeth Plumas, take a bow. Beautiful smile as she makes her way. She just cruises to the finish line. It's been an extraordinary performance. Her biggest battle today was with one of the cans on the swim leg. She has got a couple little cuts and scrapes on that shoulder. A brilliant, brilliant performance from Elizabeth Plumas, former series champion. We see Courtney Hancock.
Elizabeth Plumas, that was a humbly executed masterclass in my eyes. Incredible performance. Courtney Hancock, the battle of the day there, Reece.
Yeah, that's a really gutsy effort from Courtney, and that's a series saver there to fight back and keep putting herself in the picture. She'll be pretty happy with that 2nd place.
Yeah, and Crystal Smith making up this hat-trick, this trifecta, coming in 3rd. Oh, and a bit of a run here, little bit of a battle. It's between Geordie Mercer and Amy Nerthen. There is Mercer, Nerthen, Mercer gets there.
A little claim on the line too, throws the hands out. A bit of passion there for Geordie for fourth. And Tara Coleman across the line in sixth. What a great result for her and Amy Nerthen.
Yeah, well done, Tara, but it's Liz Plumer's day. 20 points to her. Hancock, Smith, Mercer, Nerthen and Coleman.
Harriet Brown, early leader there. Rebecca Creedy just hung in the whole day. Devon Halligan, Alyssa Ball, Emma Dick, not quite up for her first round performance. And Hannah Minogue doing well in her first season.
Brodie Moyer, well, not the one she was hoping for, but not too bad. Elise Bennett, Maddie Dunn, Bonnie Hancock.
Liz, congratulations, a dominant performance in very tough conditions.
Yeah, it's really tricky out there. You can't really pick an alley and it's just so windy. It's really tough slog.
What does it mean to you? You've had a year off competing to come back and win in round 3.
Yeah, I mean, the year off definitely helped me. I've come back and I'm fresh and I'm really enjoying it again. So before I left, I was struggling with the motivation to go training, to turn up and do the stuff that you needed to be able to race well. So it's really good to have that year off and then come back and then have a good win today.
Does this victory make you hungry to go for the championship?
Yeah, definitely. I felt like I raced really well over in Perth. I just sort of didn't get the results to reflect that. So it's good to come back and have the first win of the day today and then hopefully back it up with round 3 or 4 tomorrow.
Now you've got a bit of a war wound on your back. Tell us about what happened there.
Yeah, I was going around the last swim can. I could see the set coming, so I was trying to race around real fast and it ended up catching me and I swam straight onto the can and got stuck on the rope. So yeah, it's a little bit of sting.
Didn't slow you down. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Not feeling any pain right at the moment, is she? Liz Plumer's now in second spot, of course. 48 overall. Courtney Hancock, 57. Crystal Smith, 47.
And Geordie, Mercer, Maddie Dunn, Amy Nerthen, the 3 young girls right there in the top 6. Great to see. Rebecca Creedy, another solid season. Hannah Minogue doing well. Emma Dick in her first season doing very well, the young girl. And Tara Coleman. Looking at the next page, Brodie Moyer, this is our big disappointment. She's a star of this sport. Bonnie Hancock down there struggling with a bit of sickness.
Thanks, boys. Reece, does that put Liz Plumer's back in the title race?
100%, mate, 100%. It puts her right back into it. She looked fantastic out there today, and she had to do that. She had to win today to try and claw Courtney's lead back.
How about those conditions? Do you think that's what kind of got her out there on top?
100%. She adapted to it the quickest out of everyone, and that's experience. She's been around a long time. She's won lots of races. She's won series before, and it was hectic out there. The wind picked up, the waves picked up, and she adapted to it the best, and her skills were fantastic.
Obviously, Courtney Hancock too, coming in second. She's pretty much unstoppable too.
Yeah, she looked fantastic again, and she was back. She had a bit of bad luck in the first swim leg, and she came out a bit behind, and she clawed her way back. She's a fighter, and she had to do that. So it was fantastic for Courtney to get second. So it's on.
She's going to be a tough one to beat, but Liz on top. Congratulations, and don't go anywhere. We've got the men's Ironman coming right up. Welcome back. The Ironman will hit the water shortly for round 3 here at Newcastle Beach. It will be a 2-horse race for the title unless one of the chasing packs steps up and stops Shannon Eckstein or Kendrick Louis. So let's talk about Kai. He's also in that top pack there as well. He's close to their tail.
Yeah, look, Kai Hurst was very impressive those first 2 rounds. And the thing with Kai, which I probably haven't seen for a few years, he had a bit of a twinkle in those blue eyes of his. He looked pretty determined to go out there and prove a point. And he looked really strong, and his swimming as normal was superb. So with these conditions today, he's going to be right up there again, and he's really going to be pushing Shannon Eckstein today.
Isn't he white? How about Tannen Linden as well?
Well, Tannen's got a lot of potential. He's a young guy. He's won Australian junior titles. He's got a lot of potential. He made the top 6 in the Eliminator. It's a good opportunity for him to step up and really try and take it to these older guys and stamp his mark on the series. So, yeah, he'll be up there, I think, Tannen. He would have taken a bit of confidence out of the first 2 rounds as well.
Speaking of Tannen, Roz is on the beach with him right now.
Tannen, halfway through your warm-ups and you've already got some physio strapping. What's going on?
Previously I've just gave him a shoulder and it's just a little bit niggly at the moment, but no, it's going all right. It's all good.
Is it affecting your performance?
No, not too much. Like, it's just a little pinch every now and again, and, you know, I'm trying to ignore it while I'm out there, so, yeah, just run with it.
Now, second season on the series, and you're competing against some of your childhood heroes. Is it intimidating or exciting?
It's exciting now. It used to be pretty intimidating, but, yeah, I've sort of gotten used to it, and, you know, the other week down at Smith's Beach, I got in the final for the Eliminator, so, you know, it sort of made me feel as if, you know, oh, this is where I belong. So, yeah, no, I'm feeling all right and ready to go.
And you train with Shannon Eckstein. What has he taught you?
Oh, he doesn't give away too much, but no, he...
That's why he's the best.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's great training alongside him. Like, you know, he's so good. He's just knows the ocean so well, and he knows how to race so well, and, you know, just watching him is just, you're learning stuff. So, yeah, it's great.
Race plan today?
Go out there, have a bit of fun, and just hope for the best, I guess.
Good luck. Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ros Kelly. The conditions out there, it looks really tough. What do we learn out there from the first race in the women's?
Well, I think what we learned out there, mate, was it's really tricky. The wind's picked up, the surf's picked up a little bit, and this short arm played a havoc with a lot of the girls. So the guys would have been having a look at that. They would have been seeing which line they took, where the waves were breaking the most. So they would have been studying it really hard. So the one thing we got out of it, it's really tricky out there, and it's going to make a real big difference in this race for the men.
Isn't it what? Let's go straight to the pro zone with Wes Berg.
Round 3, Novocastrian territory. The tricky thing about round 3 is that it's halfway through the series, so you're off to a bad start. You really need to get it together today. For the guys up the front that had the better rounds of 1 and 2, they are looking to consolidate. Now, today's format is the loop format, and the hardest thing about the loop format will be this little shore break. And on the left-hand end, alley 1 to probably about 5 will have the better conditions because there is a little rip that sucks out and pulls around the rocks. Down to this end, around 10 to 15, they're going to struggle to get over the sandbar at the start. So what you're trying to do is to make sure that you can get to that left-hand side straight off the start and get yourself in a good position. Because what happens in the loop format, you can see every single competitor throughout the whole race. So with it being a little bit flatter today, you'll be able to keep your eyes all the way across the prize and to make sure to know where you are at all times.
Thanks very much, Wes Berg. Up next, we have the Ironman, so don't go anywhere. But first, let's check out what the athletes think of the course.
My first year in the series, I had to race at Newcastle, and I learned my lesson pretty quick there, and it's definitely that wave's the boss.
If you're going to pick a beach really to be challenging, I'd probably pick Newcastle Beach on the high tide going low with a 4 to 5 foot swell. It doesn't need much, and it will test and challenge these guys to their limit.
The wind gets up in the afternoon, and it's a bit of a crosswind there normally, so it's quite tricky to pick your points on the beach.
I've had a few mixed results at Newcastle. I snapped my tooth out, a couple of years back.
I won't bow down to no man.
That final race, it was on from the start. You know, myself and Shannon, we broke away from the pack a bit going into the swim, and I thought, you know, this is my opportunity to have a go here, and I felt Shannon just tapping on my feet, and then I looked back, I could see Kai come up the outside, and I was like, man, is this guy ever going to go away? You know, Shannon and I, we pulled down a little wave in the swim, and I was like, oh, here we go, we're going to be in for a hard slog this last board leg. In the past, he's outsmarted me in those situations, and I thought, nah, not today. I'm going to sit on my inside and hold my ground. I'm glad I held the line I did because we got to the shore and it doubled up. Got on the sand and sprinted for about 10 metres, looked around, and I saw that I had it, and I just, you know, just the emotions ran wild. It's amazing to be recognised with those sort of guys. You know, it makes you feel happy, and it sort of makes you feel like you actually belong here.
I won't bow down to no man.
Not long till we get underway right now. Reese, who's your tip?
Oh, it's a really hard one. I was tossing up who I thought with these conditions. I was thinking Kai Hurst with this, but I'm going to go outside the top 3, and I'm going to say Kane Eckstein. He's an endurance athlete. It's 45 minutes or around that. I'm going to go for Kane Eckstein to throw the cat amongst the pigeons today, mate.
Reece, you run up there to the commentary box with the boys, Tim Gilbert and Trevor Hendy. Take it away, boys.
Thanks, Corbin. There's Kai Hurst, cat amongst the pigeons from Reece. Trevor, it's going to be interesting.
Oh, I'm so excited about this race, Tim, because the conditions are a little bit smaller. The swell's starting to build as the wind comes up stronger. So exciting as we see the course. Here's our start on the beach, out through that little rip on the left. Board leg first, back around. It's the loop format. We come around the swim for the second leg, and then around back into the ski. There's 4 laps of that, Tim, so they're going to be hurting near the end of this race.
Yeah, Shannon Eckstein, the man to beat. Of course, he won one in Western Australia, and Kenrick won the other, so outstanding performance from Kendrick Louis. Choppy old day in Newcastle. And we're underway.
Watch for these guys on the left here to probably get the best advantage out of the rip. We're on board with Shannon Eckstein. And great start. They've got to lift the board, get it over those little chops and get away. Matt Poole away, looking determined. Unusual though, Reece, on his stomach.
Yeah, most of the guys will run down, jump straight onto their knees because they feel that's the most powerful stroke and the quickest way to get out. But a little wave might have jumped in front of him and Pooley decided to lay down. He's still laying down. He's really ripping in, laying down and heading for that rip again that we've been talking about, Trevor.
Now, normally on the left, that rip would take you out first no matter what. But when you've got someone like Shannon Eckstein, Wes Berg, Matt Poole, guys like that over on further on that right side, sometimes they defy the odds. And that's kind of what they've done here today. You can see the left side moving out quite fast, but the right side did get the better start of it initially.
Yeah, interesting for the younger guys. Well, there's the oldest guy in the field, Wes Berg, 34, still powering along, an outstanding performer at the elite level for such a long, long time. And then you've got these other young guys like Bevilacqua and others that are coming through and learning on the job. It's there he is, actually, young 21-year-old Matt Bevilacqua.
Looks like a bit of a game of Twister gone wrong right there. A couple of feet in the face. That's how tight it is.
There was a couple of stages there where he couldn't even get his arms in to take a stroke, so very tight around those backhands. But look at Nathan Smith and Wesley Berg, the 2 old fellas out in front.
And 2 of the best board paddlers of surf lifesaving history, but both laying down as they go back into that wind.
Well, it's just showing you how strong that wind is out there and how tricky it is. For those guys to be laying down just for that stability, it's just showing you how tricky it is out there as they're pushing home now on a few of these runners.
And Wes Berg, head down, look, chasing that run. Perfect technique for the kids at home. He's going to get picked up by these guys in this little chop. Look at these waves coming together. Have a look at the can on the left there. A couple have got to come back across to that. That's a little bit of bad. Here we see Tommy Terrenbath and Hayden White.
Whoa. Oh, that got a bit tight there. I think Wes might have copped a bit of a push up the back.
Hayden White rolled off there but actually recovered as Shannon Eckstein, Matt Poole come through on this wave.
Well, here it is.
So that's Tommy Terrenbath. Go left, Whitey, he yells out. He knows he's got to get around that can. Bumps into him, rolls him off. Here we see it from Hayden. Off to the side.
And that must have been where Wes got him. Oh, yeah.
Well, here's from Wes.
I think it's hit him on a butt cheek, if I can say that.
Well, you can say it, and it's that is one painful hit from Wes Berg. That's a nice little bit of camaraderie there.
Nicely picked up. He looked back at him and made sure he was okay. That will hurt. That's going to affect him for a little while. If you get a cork in that region, that's not going to tickle.
Yeah, well, just everything you do in this sport, it involves, you know, using your legs and using your buttocks, you know, so if that's hit him hard enough, that's going to really affect him today.
Yeah, may need the cushion on the plane.
Cam Cole now out in front, the Australian Ironman champion. Renowned board paddler, great board paddler, so that's where Cam should be after that board leg in first place. That's a great effort.
Look at Matt Poole run off to the left to find the rip.
Plenty more to come. This is the man. We're in Newcastle. Nutri-Grain Ironman series. Stick around. Welcome back to the Nutri-Grain Ironman series. We are in Newcastle today. The surf getting bigger.
It sure is, and that's going to fire up that rip on the left we just saw the guys running into. As that water comes in, it's going to move out, and you can see out the back there, Reese, it pushes them back across towards the cans. The cans, of course, at the moment, though, are more on the inside of the break, and our big normal Nutri-Grain boy is gone because it is so windy.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Trevor. And we saw Matty Poole around the first, as we just see the jet ski punch through a big wave. Matty Poole went down to the left, and he's now out in front. And I love seeing Pooley when he races aggressively. When he gets out there and he attacks, that's when Pooley's at his best, as the top three guys have just got a beautiful wave.
Yeah, and that is Matt Poole, Shannon Eckstein and Nathan Smith. Cam Cole makes up the top four, Trev.
And here we go, a little replay of this wave. The waves are all bumpy and moving around different spots, so they all take off together. Great, they'll be loving this in the middle of the swim leg, holding it through. And as we come on the inside, that's Shannon Eckstein on the right. He's almost messed that. No, he's pulled that off. Reese, that's just pure strength.
It was. The wave was sort of smothered him, and he just got out with brute strength there, and he would have been kicking his legs extremely hard. And there off he goes, light on his feet.
Yeah, Kai Hurst has just come into fourth, Hayden White, Kane Eckstein. So something has happened there where we've split the leaders. Tannen Linden in eighth, Thomas Trembath in ninth, Dane Farrell, the great Dane. Kendrick Louis in 11th, still not getting there. Cameron Cole, he's really dropped.
And there was Dane Farrell's cheer squad. Great Dane on the hat, sporting the blue hair to bring attention to men's depression and Beyond Blue. So doing a wonderful job. Dane Farrell, the biggest cheer squad on the beach.
Really is great to see him doing that with the blue hair and his cheer squad there. And Beyond Blue do a wonderful, wonderful job.
Just saw up on the results there, Kendrick Louis just back a little bit there. He's got a lot of work to do, Kendrick. He'll be fighting his way into this ski leg as we see Shannon Eckstein nice and clean around those cans. He's so good.
When you look back and you see all those onboard camera shots, you see how busy they all are. Keeping the technique, you know, the strokes going and everything else, but look every direction he's looking to get around the can. Watch those feet, the knees moving up and down as he drives off for those strokes. There's a lot more going on than meets the eye.
And the ski, we mentioned earlier how difficult it is to stay in still water.
And what a great little wave on the left side of the screen there. We see Matt Poole come up and join Shannon Eckstein. So at the moment, it's a bit cat and mouse.
Yeah, that's a good wave for Pooley to put him up there with Shannon. And again, like I said, Pooley likes to race from the front, and that's when he's at his best. You can see Shannon here, he's just slowing, he's throwing his leg out. Pooley's slid down the front of that. Shannon's just...
Bit of a nose plough.
Yeah, Shannon's just veered off. He'll still manage to come in on this front wave, but a little tiny mistake there, I think, from Shannon.
What's the relationship between these two guys?
Well, I think that, you know, most of the guys are fairly good mates out of the water. In the water, there's different lengths of rivalry. Matt Poole really wants to be the star of the sport. He doesn't want to go out and be a star, like in ego terms, but he wants to win this series. He doesn't like being sitting back in fourth place, and he won't give him an inch, as he said in the start interview.
Poole, Eckstein and Nathan Smith. What about Nathan Smith? 3 years out of the sport. He's been doing it for a couple of decades.
Nathan Smith, incredible man. Basically, so many great performances over the years. 3 years is no mean feat to come back and compete at this level. Absolutely dominated up at the trial earlier in the year.
Here we are back on board with Kendrick. Still back a bit, still trying to get himself back into the game here.
Kendrick looking a little bit flatter, and that's one thing you wouldn't see from Shannon. Normally he just backs up race after race after race. Kendrick, our winner from the last round, shows he's still finding his feet a little bit. He's not quite up there just yet and not looking as bright as Shannon, just sitting there, laying there doing his thing. There we go, look at Kendrick now. No doubt won't have given up, but didn't look quite as sharp to me.
Nathan Smith, of course, from Cronulla in the Southern Beaches in Sydney. So long away. What a remarkable effort. Got a young family now.
Well, after 20 years in the sport, I found my beautiful wife, Shannon. Our first priority was to start a family, and I wanted to be an active and healthy dad. My Sundays are the best days ever because it's the day that I don't go training in the morning. Now I purposely stay in bed, so when they wake up, it's like a surprise. During my 3 years out of competition, I definitely had the drive. I felt I left the sport not on my terms. My wife Shannon actually asked me a question last year and said, would you like to go back to racing? And I jumped at it. When I compete, the greatest inspiration and motivation that I can have, I'll draw on that from my family. I've actually got their names on my ski, so when I jump on the ski and start paddling, if I feel like I'm doing it a bit tough and I'm hurting, I look down at those 4 initials and they give me a huge lift. I'd love to be the greatest dad in the world. I think every father would like to be, so it's only just started and it's going to be a long road ahead, I can tell you.
And those 2 beautiful young girls provide a lot of inspiration, not just for him, but the whole beach when they come down. They dance around, and Nathan Smith, great surf life-saving family and one of the great loved characters of the sport.
Sure is. As we get back to Matt Poole and Shannon Eckstein, this battle at the front.
Great little shot there of Shannon from the onboard camera, rushing out and straight away, Reece, back on his knees and pushing because he knew he had to try and get over that wave and track back that distance that Pooley's got in the shore break.
Absolutely, and Pooley's up and running. He's got a little bit of a lead now, and Shannon really working hard. He's looking strong after those first 2 rounds. He's worked his way into the race, and here comes Shannon.
It's really interesting to see that shot, though, isn't it? Because he's really, really trying not to let Pooley get away from him. So there's no normal little professor back there. We saw him get up straight away and really push it. So he doesn't want to come second in this race.
100%. I think he knows how strong Pooley is out in front.
Yeah, one guy that's not here this year, of course, Ali Day, second in the series last year, as you see Kane go past Nathan, and Roz is with him on the beach.
Well, Ali, you can barely get down on the beach here with all of your fan club asking for autographs. Is it tough or is it nice to be back?
Yeah, it was pretty mixed emotions, I guess, this morning waking up. Especially the last couple of years, I've had a few really good results here at Newcastle, and it's really special to come down and still be a part of it and do things like this and sign autographs for kids and I guess watch, a lot of my mates race today. So it has been pretty hard to come down the beach today, but, at least I'm down here and I'm enjoying it, and I hope, Paulie keeps his lead now.
Can you explain exactly what you're going through?
Look, after the Coolangatta Gold this year, I had a couple of weeks off and got back into a bit of training and, just never felt myself, really. Just extremely tired, exhausted, and didn't have the zing, I guess. I've seen a lot of doctors and things like that, and I think I just need a really good rest. And, I'm enjoying that rest now in my hometown in Kiama, so...
How tough was it to make the call to pull out of the series?
Yeah, probably the toughest call I've ever had to make, really. Through my doctor and through, my coach, Michael King, it was one of the hardest things that I did have to do in my life. And I'm really looking forward to getting fit and healthy now and enjoying my time off.
Well, best of luck with the recovery. Who are you tipping to take it out?
I'll have to go the Mooloolaba boys today. I can pull these out in front there, and, I know he won here last year, so I'd love to see him win today. So, keep coming at him, Bully.
Thanks, Ali.
Thanks, Roz.
Ali Day, we wish him a quick recovery, not an easy thing to go through.
Shannon Eckstein flies down this wave from behind, totally catches us by surprise. Look at this, Matt Poole gets left behind. Shannon has come through and he's going to hold that right in.
Once again, this surf just shows how cruel this sport can be sometimes. Pooley had a really good, strong lead there. Now Shannon Eckstein is out in front in his usual spot.
Unbelievable turn. Now he's going to pick up this tiny little one on the edge here, which is a brilliant piece of body surfing. This is why he's the master. Shannon Eckstein, we can't say enough about how good he is and how much he's changed the sport. It's incredible the way he races, the way he perfects it.
He'd get one in a bathtub, wouldn't he? A wave?
I'm sure that's where he probably first practiced, of course, but I know Shannon Eckstein and Kane Eckstein as well. There's Matt Poole coming up in second place, Kai Hurst in third, and back to Kane, who I just mentioned. Shannon and Kane were two of those kids that used to grow up running in the backyard and wanting to be Ironmen when they watched the series many, many years ago. So they grew up idolising the people before them and wanting to be in this position, and now here they are, the two of them, near the end of their careers, but everyone else is idolising them.
Yeah, you're too humble to say it, Trev, but you may have been one of those people, I would have think.
Definitely. Shannon's looking strong. He's out in front and looking very strong and comfortable. You can see their transition was a little bit, they took in a couple of deep breaths, and you can see the field really starting to stretch out as we're on board with Wesley Berg, punching through a wave, and he's flipped upside down. Must be struggling with that little injury or that board bump into his buttocks earlier today.
No cushions in the seat of a ski, as we know. It doesn't get any softer as the race goes on. Shannon Eckstein doing a bit of a masterclass here, comes in and picks up a nice wave, perfectly in tune with the ocean right now.
Oh. Shannon Eckstein, the professor, as we see a little bit of a wobble around the can.
There's Kane next time. We'll get a little closer shot of that as he comes around. Just mistimes it with the chop. Bang, just bumps it out of the way, no problems. Takes a few more strokes. Bit of an animal is Kane, no problems to him.
Shannon, his older brother, as he comes around, this dead set champion, Matt Poole. Pooley, as he's affectionately known. But what about Kane Eckstein, looking to break a world record?
I didn't really hear about it, I just thought of it and then just Googled it and looked it up and found out there was a whole little chin-up world with blogs and websites out there. I just sort of thought to myself, I wonder if there's a record, because I sort of like to see how many I can do. And yeah, I found out all the records and sort of broke them down. And I really wanted to get the hour world record, and I think it's about 18 chin-ups a minute for an hour. I sort of worked it out. I thought I'll try and do 15 a minute, and I did that for an hour. And then I thought, okay, well, I'll try and do 18 and do that every minute. And I sort of did that for about 40 minutes. And I thought, oh, should I try and get it now or just leave it? And I thought, no, I'll leave it and, you know, try and get it just one go, you know, when I want to.
Last year was a pretty gnarly little win. Ali was dominating all day out in front, and I guess that's the beauty of our sport, you just can't give up. So I got a wave right at the end at a crucial clutch moment, got up and used the long pins to run him up the beach. I think it's going to be a battle, hey, like there's wind coming north, south, all over the place. People are going to be getting runs and waves on everyone from behind, so it's not over till it's over. I think everyone will be fighting right to that last leg for sure, and I know I won't be giving them an inch.
Matt Poole, he's fired up, and there he is, just behind Shannon Eckstein. He's the piggy in the middle of the Eckstein brothers.
He'll be brewing because Shannon got that wave through when he had a nice little lead, so he'll be sitting back there trying to chase Shannon down and don't ride him off. We know Shannon's the master, but Matt Poole, when he gets that look in his eye, Reece, he's a hard man to beat.
Yeah, most definitely. You can see the rate, you can see that anxiousness to try and get back up there. He's really pushing hard, and he's got Kane chasing behind him as well, as we're on board with Kai Hurst, who's popped off. And how quick was that?
Speaking of Kane Eckstein's chin-ups, that was Kai Hurst's chin-up back onto the board there. Well done. Matt Poole catching this wave out the back. Shannon's got a little one in front. Poole gets a chance to show off and enjoy the rail of his board a little bit. But he's going to like that because that'll probably run through. And both these guys look like they've got a good wave through to the beach.
Yeah, a couple of nice waves there to increase their lead as Kane's just coming around that turning can. Shannon's on the beach, light on those feet as usual.
And you can see that distance back as Pooley comes in, puts the head down and away he goes. He's fired up.
Yeah, and his dad, Ian, I think I might have said he had the shirt on, or at least he's got a singlet as he yells at his son, "Get on there, Matt."
Boy, how was that? He really got him going too, didn't he? That was good. Good to see. And Kane Eckstein, younger brother of Shannon and a superstar of this sport, chases around in third. We haven't seen him dominate yet. Any moment now, Kane Eckstein could come through.
Most definitely, and here's Kai Hurst. Again, we haven't seen a lot of Kai today, but he's slowly working his way into this race. You can see a bit of tape on his back. He has a few lower back problems, but he's starting to make his presence felt the longer this race goes.
Yeah, he looked like he had a bit of a glint in his eye too. He really pumped those legs. As we see him dive over that wave, another one swimming with intent. Look at that, diving into the rip. Back to Shannon Eckstein, out to the second can. Those cans on the inside. Incredible shots here. Newcastle Beach headland in the background and the famous Newcastle Bars swimming pool.
And look at these waves. It's really messy as Pooley gets a little run on the top of it. Shannon gets a run on it. It's all over the place, Trevor. They're coming from all different angles.
Every mother's got a whirlpool washing machine there. Karma where Roz is.
Well, the crowd is playing a massive role in lifting the athletes as they run up the beach here because they are looking incredibly exhausted in these conditions. Without a doubt, one of the crowd favourites is Kendrick Louis. There's a huge roar every time he runs in. Now, it is still very, very windy, and all of the competitors tell me that luck is going to play a huge role in who wins this. So far, it's the experience of Shannon Eckstein out in front.
Thanks, Roswell. It's a real head bobber this. I think Matt Poole maybe just getting in front of Shannon here. Matt Poole and Shannon Eckstein, it's a real ding-dong battle, Trev.
We saw this back in the first round in Perth, in Margaret River, that every time someone would get away, they'd catch back up again. The race is just not, it's back on. And we've got a full-on race on our hands, particularly between these two. And I think that might have been Kai Hurst's hand on the wave right behind them.
I think you're right, because Kai Hurst, we saw him pick up some ground in the swim. Shannon goes through first, then Matt Poole, and I expect Kai Hurst, yep, there he is. He's got this back problem, but is there a more determined competitor?
One supreme competitor, that's for sure.
Here we are on board with Matty Poole. He's really having a red-hot crack today, Poole. He's really got that fire in his eye. This is a really great battle. I'm really enjoying sitting here watching this. It's fantastic. And then with Kai Hurst chasing them, what a race.
Let's get an update here. Shannon Eckstein, Matt Poole up the top, Kai Hurst, Kane Eckstein, all our Broadway acts right up the top. Kendrick Louis, who won at Smith's Beach. You've got Tannen Linden, this up-and-coming star. And it goes to Minogue and Bevilacqua, the 21-year-old. Nathan Smith's dropped down to 9th now. Wes Berg after that bump he had. Trembath, Farrell, and I tell you what, he's got some great fans in the crowd. And then it winds out to Allen, White, Miller, and rounding out the field is Cameron Cole.
And a great job for Dane Farrell too. He had a terrible time back over in Smith's Beach for both rounds over there. So good to see him back and on top of the water and doing a little bit better.
Shannon Eckstein working on a little runner here. And this is what he's so good at, Trevor, working on these little runners, turning these little runners into something. And he's doing that really well. But look at Pooley's raid in the background. He's hanging in there. Kai Hurst coming around the can now. They're really going for it, these guys.
Oh, Shannon here going straight ahead. He's got to keep that nose out, ploughing down there. And look,
that's Cameron Cole.
He's had to avoid Cameron Cole there. So Shannon Eckstein's had to move to not hit him. So here he is going across, handles the ski perfectly, but he won't be liking that after all that effort to get a lead.
Takes a bit of a look across, and Cameron Cole lucky to get away with it. This is a bit of a state of origin battle, this. You can actually see a slight tinge of maroon in Shannon's orange, and of course the blue on Matt Poole. Could he ambush him this time?
Before I was an Ironman, I was just a beach lover. It was my favourite place to be sort of growing up. I got my first foam surfboard at probably the age of 5, and Dad used to take me down the beach and just push me in a little whitewash at DY Point there. I guess the older I got, the more passionate I got and the more competitive I got. So the natural sort of option and push for me was into racing, into ocean sports racing, and that was surf lifesaving. I think that sort of hunger to win and that competitive urge just came through in me, and a little bit of a beast grew. I think I was about 18, 19, and I finished 3rd in the series, and that was when I knew that like this was my calling, this was an opportunity I'd been given, so I was going to run with it. The key to winning the series, I've always said, is just consistency. Someone's going to do it sooner or later, and I'm hoping it's me. I'm hoping that I can, take that series and bring it home. I'd love to, ever since I've been a little kid, I've always wanted to win a professional Ironman series. That's been my goal from day dot, and before I'm out in this sport, that's what I want to do.
Matty Poole in a big sea of blue. Could it be his year? Could it be the year for the Blues? Could they knock the Queenslanders off as we see Matt Poole come around in front of Shannon Eckstein?
Or will it be Queensland and Shannon Eckstein? Shannon going for number 8. Of course, we know the Maroons have won 8 in a row. You guys might outnumber me here, but that doesn't mean much in State of Origin.
Come on, Blues.
Yeah, go the Blues. Poole, Eckstein, Hurst, Kane Eckstein. As we mentioned, all these stars, and Tannen Linden.
What a race this has been, Trevor. I've never seen a race where it's gone back and forth so much. It's been an interesting, if anything, duel, hasn't it?
I've been sitting here thinking the same thing. It's just constantly at each other's throat the whole way through this race, and one gets away and then something happens and they catch up. Whether it's a mistake or a stroke of luck and waves coming up, they're just banging into each other the whole time. It's incredible to watch. Matt Poole has wanted to win this series, as he said, from a young boy. He no doubt has idolised Shannon Eckstein, so he's trying to beat his idol.
Yeah, it's like a big heavyweight battle, this, you know, the young and the old. And Matt Poole, as we just saw with that little feature piece on him, so determined before he's out of this sport to get one. Shannon Eckstein, well, he doesn't know much about losing. He's won so many times as they come around the can again.
It's a bit like David and Goliath, except in this case, the Goliath is the smaller one. David's the big guy.
Just the pace at this time of the race too, the back end of the race, and the pace that they're going is extraordinary. And also these two know that not far behind him, Kai Hurst is still lurking around as a wave jacks up.
Whoa.
Oh, what? He's just missed him. There was a butterfly wing in that. Let's have a look at that again.
Cornering across.
Oh.
That was really close.
His fin would have been near the back of his leg right then.
Look at this, Trevor. Screw.
Ooh. Wow, I'm not even sure if he needed to do that. Obviously, he's got a better line that he wanted to go. But here we go, it continues.
Oh, there's bound to be some more twists and turns as we get to the gripping crescendo in this one. Nutri-Grain Ironman series, stick around. Welcome back to the Nutri-Grain Ironman series. Everything is burning now. Matt Poole and Shannon Eckstein. Now we have just one swim and one ski, and that is it as we watch Kai Hurst. Ah!
A beautiful little piece of surfing off the board there. Takes me back to the days. Here we see on board on the camera, and this is back when Grant Kenny first changed the sport of Ironman racing. He used to jump off his paddleboard for the run leg to get a better run. So Hursty mimicking his idol, Grant Kenny.
I like the looks in all their eyes. It's that time of the race where everyone's starting to hurt and everyone's just so focused on trying to get that win.
And there's Kane Eckstein, who would never, ever give up, and you see him back there chasing, but even he pales a little bit in the way Kai Hurst just ran into the water. That was one determined look.
And everyone wanting to knock off Shannon Eckstein, and of course Kendrick Louis did it at Smith's Beach, and we saw him say there in one of those feature pieces, look at this, it's so close, every stroke. We saw him say back there in Western Australia how much he wanted to be like Shannon Eckstein. Well, here we have Matt Poole, so desperate to win a series and just on him the whole time.
Look at this underwater, they're clashing. That's Kai Hurst swimming past now, but they're just clashing left, right and centre. Shannon back in the lead as they go for a little wave. Shannon in the better spot, but Matt Poole picks it up as well. This is sensational.
Great body surfing from both those guys.
And now Pooley's gone past him.
Back and forth, unbelievable. I just can't get over the speed and the intensity this race is producing for us.
And look at this, neither of these guys swim with goggles, so you can see them squint their eyes open as they look up to where the finishing turn is.
Oh, and look at this, there's a seal in the way behind them. It's Kai Hurst.
Wow, and Shannon goes back past Matt Poole and beats him up the beach with one leg to go. Matt Poole chasing down Shannon Eckstein.
Look at the speed that Shannon came out of the water there. Pooley's on the hunt. Kai Hurst is like a freight train. He is steaming home.
Gold, silver, bronze are on the beach right at the moment. 1, 2, 3, this is it. This is where it finishes. The final leg, the ski. Eckstein, Poole, Hurst. Can one of the others pop their head up? Can Kane come through? Can he do a chin up all the way to the top? Louis, Linden, and it goes on from there.
Kai gets a good skip over there. I'm actually nervous. I've got the flutters sitting here watching this unfold. It's incredible. Kai Hurst gets a good start as well. That's a bit of a gap to peg back when these two guys are going so hard against each other. That wave on the left, Reece, is going to be a problem.
I think Shannon will just sneak through that, which he has. They're going to go neck and neck all the way out to this front can, and they know that Kai Hurst is on their hammer.
And there's a few other obstacles, aren't there? Because there's still guys swimming.
Just shows you how fast these guys are going to lap some of the competitors. It's amazing.
And even to leave Kane Eckstein behind like that, Kai Hurst has gone away from him to catch up to these guys. Look at this. Now Matt Poole is in the lead and has the inside on the turns.
Kai Hurst trying hard.
It's crucial to have that inside run too on the ski. Sometimes you can get around that inside and you can get that first crack at the runner. Shannon's really going to have to try and creep up onto his shoulder and stay with him.
Here comes Ursy. This is incredible. Shannon's so smart. He'll know I haven't got the inside, so he starts to change his strategy. He'll take his time, go around the outside, but he'll want to pick the smartest line back to the beach.
look at the different styles of these two. One's the unbelievable technician. The other one, let's get into this Pooley.
Pure, raw courage from Matt Poole and the smarts. Look at this. Shannon Eckstein, is he going to push over this little run here? He's tracked it a bit more back to the south. He's set himself up. He's gone past Matt Poole. He's done this 1,000 times. Probably not 1,000, but pretty close, it seems like it. And Matt Poole's going to push over next to him as well.
Well, they've blown off Kai Hurst, so I think Kai is not going to interfere with 1 and 2. It's going to be Eckstein or Poole. Poole or Eckstein.
Here we go again, guys. Another sprint finish. It is on.
Matt Poole tracking back across towards the finish there. Shannon Eckstein will probably try and hold his line a little bit here. And look at them side by side. All of a sudden, the gap close. The paddle's almost hitting the rudder there. And Shannon Eckstein now, he's straightened up again now.
Yeah, Matt Poole, of course, and he's coming back across. Is this what he's doing? Is this a tactic?
Well, it's hard to tell at that point in time there. It looks like he's following the run. He's straightened up there a little bit. They're going to come through one last little bit of gutter. But Pooley, look at him. He's looking back for this turn because he knows Shannon.
Whoa.
No, Shannon's gone across in front of him. This is on.
Oh, what a finish it is here. Shannon Eckstein, this absolute out-and-out champion against Matt Poole, the boy from Sydney. It's Eckstein in front. Poole just behind him. They come around this final turn. Oh, what's happened there? He's bumped him out of the way. Poole's got across. Eckstein's in the sand. Shakes his head. Oh, my goodness gracious, what a sensation.
Ruth, Trevor.
We'll be looking at that again. Wow. Bit of a shake of the head there from Shannon Poole. Congratulates him. Kai Hurst comes up for 3rd spot. Wasn't a part of that at all.
What a race.
Oh.
I can't believe it's finished like that.
Here's Shannon sitting on the beach. He's asking, did he push me? He's saying with the hand, was that a push?
Well, let's have a look back at what happened, boys. Talk us through it.
The first thing we pick up here is look at Pooley running around Shannon's handler. Has to change direction almost. See, right there, it gives a bit of a yell. You can see him wording something and takes off. Pooley's the faster runner, so Shannon's going to try and hold the inside line. Comes in here on the turn. Pooley's going to try and go on the gap.
Oh, straight.
Knees him in the back of the leg. That's the first action here. Bang, there's the knee. Shannon goes forward, Pooley goes forward, and Shannon goes down. Pooley almost leans on his back. There it is, he's trying to squeeze through. And down goes Shannon in the sand.
All right, now let's have a look at this. That's Andrew Book, the race referee. If this, I'm just looking at the rules here, if this is deemed to be intentional by Matt Poole, the places can be reversed. Now, this is open to review, this. Shannon's looking. We've got Matt, who obviously wants it to stay as it is. There's Matt Poole. Interesting this, and I think Roz has just got Shannon now.
Shannon, what's your take on that sprint finish?
Well, Pooley's got me for speed, so I had to get off early and got in front to the turn. And I'm not sure what happened. We'll look at the film, but it felt like his hands touched my shoulders, but we'll wait and see. Have a look at it.
So you feel like you were pushed?
At the moment, I do. We'll wait. The tape might tell a different story. It's like a jockey. You go have a look at the film after the race, and then you might protest. So we'll have a look.
If looks could kill, though, when you cross that finish line.
Yeah, well, I lost round 2 in a sprint finish, and then round 3 again, looks like I might have lost a sprint finish. So that's, you drop 6 points in just a little 20-metre run. It's tough to take, and that's crucial to a series.
What an absolutely fierce battle between you guys, though.
Yeah, it felt like after 2 legs, Paul and I were sort of out the front and just jostling for 40 minutes or so. And yeah, it was a good battle in the end. It would have been nice to get away for myself, but it wasn't to be. And yeah, sprint finish tough against Pooley.
The rivalry is very strong between all of you guys, isn't it? Friends on the beach, but get in the water.
Yeah, it feels like there's a younger brigade coming after Kai, Wes, and myself. We're the older brigade, and they're hungry and they want to beat us at all costs. And yeah, it's good racing.
Thanks. Good luck.
No worries, stuff.
Yeah, sure is good racing. I'd say it's great racing as we have a look at that replay again.
Oh, it looks like an isolated incident, but it's been building up all day, hasn't it? Incredible. Not knowing what this result is of the review just yet.
Yeah, plenty of tension on the beach, pensive looks. Let's get back to Roz. I think she's got Matt with her.
Matt, an anxious wait. What's your take on that finish?
I've spoken to Shannon, I've spoken to Kane. To be honest, I'm going to be absolutely devastated if I get DQ'd. I mean, that's just a good, hard-fought battle in all my eyes. That's what our sport's about, We're out there in the water. We're going around Cairns. You don't give anyone an inch in the swim, in the board, in the ski. When you get to a sprint finish, when you're racing for a first place, you don't give them an inch. If there's an inside opportunity coming off that can, I was always going to take it. I don't regret doing it at all. I don't apologise. I'm sorry that Shannon felt down. I mean, he's the best in our sport, the best ever. So
I'm just stoked that I could be that close to him after 4 laps. I mean, the guy's a freak, so I'm truly sorry that he fell down, but in no way was it intentional. It was just me running for a win. I wanted it more than anything.
He says he felt a hand on his back.
Look, I came around the inside. As soon as all I felt was my knee hit his ankle, I came off the inside of that off that sausage turn. My knee hit his ankle. He got tripped up. I was obviously had upper body trying to fit into a tiny little gap, so I had my shoulders locked in, and I never ever would have pushed somebody in the back. If I had 2 hands, 1 hand, and pushed him in the back, then that'd be worthy of a DQ. But as far as I'm concerned, that didn't happen.
It's absolutely fierce competition, Matt. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Well done, Roz. Well done, Matt. And, yeah, you can feel the tension, can't you? There's the bird's eye view, a little bit more relaxed up there. And there's Andrew Book, the referee.
Mate, at this stage, the decision or the race placings will stand as they are, OK, based on what I've just seen. I don't believe there was any deliberate interference by either of you.
So what happened?
I have it that Pooley's got tangled up with the back of your leg, right? As he's come in behind you, he's got tangled up with the back of your leg. That's caused you to start to go, him to start to go.
So did his hand touch me at all?
His elbows touched you, right, as his arms come forward, right? But I don't, there is no...
His arm, not shoulder.
Hey, it's his arm, right? Only when you both started to fall, right? Prior to that, there was no sideways movement and no elbow movement in any way, shape or form. I don't believe there was any deliberate, right, action
so you're saying his arm touched my body?
Yeah.
That's all right.
Well, it's touched your body, right, as you're both running forward. So as it's come forward and you've both started to trip, look, we can go through this for a long, long time. At this stage, or, you know, my decision is that the placings stand as they are, OK?
Well, there you can see Shannon Eckstein obviously doesn't agree with it. Matt Poole wins.
Raw emotion too, and you can see either side would have felt ripped off in that situation. Right down through the field there, the results. Wes Berg hung in there with that big whack in the butt earlier in the day. Dane Farrell did pretty well in the blue hair.
Yeah, Hayden White, Alan Miller, Cole. I don't reckon we've heard the end of this. Now, that's the overall standings. It goes Eckstein, Shannon, of course, Kai Hurst, Kendrick Louis and Matt Poole now up to 45. But there could be an appeal. Who knows? Matt Bevilacqua, Wes Berg, Minogue, Alum Smith, Trenbar.
And rounding out the top 16 of the Nutri-Grain Ironman series here on our last page, Hayden White, Mitch Miller, Dane Farrell and Cam Cole, the Aussie Ironman champion.
All right, what a day we've had in Newcastle. There've been some Novocastrian grins, there's been some frowns, there's been some arguments, there's been some bumping and grinding. And the decision, well, it's been made. Poole and Eckstein, we're going to hear from them again next.
Welcome back to the Nutri-Grain Ironman. Reece Jury, Matt Poole. Mate, this is where it all went down only minutes ago. The referee came in here. It was a video finish. Tell us your thoughts on it.
Yeah, look, today was a hard-fought battle in the water and on the land. We had 4 laps of shoulder-to-shoulder racing consistently. You know what? Shannon's the absolute king of our sport. I laud him, the utmost respect for him. And but today I didn't want it to be his day. I wanted it to be mine. I wanted the win more than anything. So we came off the skis and it was just a hustle the whole way up to that last turn. And I knew I either had an opportunity to go on the inside and take him at the finish line, or it was his win. So I took the inside line, my knees clipped his ankles, and we both nearly ended up on the sand. He's hit the deck and I've crossed the line. So he's saying that I've pushed him in the back, and I'm saying it was just a bit of legs caught up on the inside, but we're about to see the replay and see how it all went down.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. Let's have a look at the exact video that the referee was having a look at.
Here you are coming out the beach. You're looking for the inside angle just there. It looks at that point like your leg hits his leg as well as you're going in for it.
Yeah. See, right there, coming into this final turn, I've pulled up right behind him, and I knew I had to go on the inside. If I went on the outside, I had no chance of getting past him. Right here, my knee hits his ankle.
Which forces him down a little bit, and you both lose your footing. You're starting to go down there as well.
as we've come around that last can, it was my leg and his ankle have got caught up together as we both started to stumble. My natural reaction is to put the arm up as we're both about to go down, and I think it's just unintentional contact coming around the end there. So
The arm for you going up then was just to sort of balance yourself out?
yeah, and you're about to fall down, you don't take it straight to the face, you put your arms up, you try and block yourself. So looking back on it now, I'm feeling a lot better about it. I think it was my day. I'm just happy.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, in this type of racing and when you're going for a big thing, and you said you had to make it your day today to get back in the series, and when you're going hammer and tongs at it, sometimes these things happen, and it's one of those things, but congratulations, Matty.
Matt Poole, you got this one, buddy. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys. It was a hard battle, but I'll take it at all costs.
Congratulations, Paulie, you got that one. Shannon Eckstein is with Ros Kelly on the beach.
Shannon, what's the verdict?
The places stand as they were when we crossed the line.
Why is that? What's the decision-making process behind that?
I think it's a bit of a technicality, a bit of a grey area in the rule book. They can't define that he jostled to impede me deliberately, really. He did impede me, he did jostle, but I'll accept the umpire's decision. But I'm still a bit dumbfounded as to you can actually do that in an Ironman race, but that's the way it goes.
What case did you plead when you went to the appeals committee?
I had to look through a rule book and find a rule to protest on, and that was all about a competitor jostling to impede another competitor. And I believed Matt jostled me on the inside when there was no run on the inside. He could have went around me. There was a lot of room there, but so I was impeded. I ended up on the ground, but they didn't see it that way. And then we move on to round 4.
Feel unfairly done by?
Oh, not really. That's the sport, Hopefully it just fires me up for round 4 and I can win the series.
I'm sure it will. Good luck.
Thanks.
Thanks, Roz. Wow, what a finish by the boys there.
Mate, that was hectic. It's a shame in some ways because it was such a cracking race. They were at it hammer and tongs. It's one of those things that happens in the heat of battle. Shannon will be filthy. Pooley was unsure, and no one wanted it to end up like that. It looked like a clash of legs. I don't think it was an intentional thing. I know Pooley wasn't. He's not like that. It was just one of those things. I think Bookie, the referee, probably got it right, but it could have gone 50-50, but Pooley's got the win, and it was a great race. It's just a shame that it finished like that, but everyone was excited. It was a cracker.
Liz Plumer also up on top again.
Yeah, she had to win today. She had to get back in there and put some pressure back on Courtney, and she did that. She had a fantastic race. She did really well with the skills, and she looked great out there.
Elizabeth Plumer and Matt Poole on top again. Thanks very much, Reese. That's round 3 done. We'll see you next week for round 4.